Hey! Welcome back to the 10x Rule book reading. Hi, I'm Don, reading the 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. Anyway, enjoying the book. Today was a bit of a challenge because it's something that we don't generally subscribe to easily. Chapter 14, Expand, Never Contract. Expand, never contract. That means, in a nutshell, chapter 14 is about, if I would put it in a sentence, going against the grain. Going against the grain of society. Going against the grain of pop culture. One of the reasons why I love Grant Cardone so much is he goes against the grain of society and pop culture, which is generally mass-produced psychosis. Following pop culture and following society is following mass-produced psychosis. Grant Cardone got to where he is by going against the grain of what other people do. You know, it's not keeping up with the Joneses. You know, and that's really what 10x is all about. Not trying to keep up with the Joneses, but leaving the Joneses behind. Ignoring the psychosis of mainstream media, ignoring the psychosis of pop culture, and going against the grain of what they say you should be doing, and do what you should be doing, which is 10xing. And 10x really is about taking your life to another level that goes against the grain of pop culture, which would rather you stay average, which would rather you stay predictable, which would rather you stay controllable, like the masses that are sucked into mainstream media and sucked into what society says do, and so on and so forth. But anyway, and this book in general is, I would call this book an evergreen book, because the principles in this book are valuable regardless of rain or shine, good times or bad, ups and downs. The principles of this book, the 10x Rule by Grant Cardone, they're evergreen, and if you apply them to your life, you'll see 10x Rule results. I am living proof of it. I got into Grant Cardone a few years ago. And I 10x'd, let's just put it that way. I went from a good salesperson to a always be closing closer, to coffee is for closers closer. Thanks to Grant Cardone and his principles, I went from middle of the road closer to the #1 closer. The closer that they sent all the leads to, because they knew I could close at a higher rate than all the other closers. I was a they call it one talk closer, one call closer, thanks to Grant Cardone. So I'm a proponent, big proponent of Grant Cardone and his products, and the 10x Rule is an awesome book that has evergreen value to it. And I'll prove to you this. This book was written, when was this book written? 2000 and something. I want to say 10, 11, something like that. Let me find it here exactly. One second. I'm going off on a tangent here because it dawned on me that this book is evergreen. This book was written in 2011, okay? Keep that in mind. This book was written in 2011, and it's just as valuable today as it was in 2011. Here's perfect proof of that. Chapter 14, Expand, Never Contract. Chapter 14. As of the writing of this book, our country is still experiencing very serious economic stress. This was in 2011 he wrote this. As of the writing of this book, our country is still experiencing very serious economic stress. Unemployment numbers and financial uncertainty are reaching heights not seen since the Great Depression. During major economic contractions like these, the world becomes convinced to reduce save, be careful, and stay cautious. Although this mindset focuses on self-preservation and the protection of assets, it is the very kind of thinking that will guarantee you never get what you want. This was back in 2011. Where are we at today? Does this sound familiar? And although the majority of the world has entered a state of contraction, small percentages of people and companies are still capitalizing by expanding. Gee, who has capitalized in the past couple of years while everyone was told to pull back, to contract, to protect your assets, while people were talked into self-preservation or steered into it and told, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that? How many companies have flourished in the past couple of years? But yet this was written in 2011. That's why this book is evergreen, because it stands the test of time no matter what time it is. These people who are capitalized and expanded during these challenging times, these people understand that these times of tightening are a unique opportunity to take from those who are taking a defensive position by reducing spending. Who had a really good fiscal year while other people were told don't spend? Who had a really good fiscal year while other people were told to save and pull back? While inflation went crazy, who had a really good fiscal year? Think about it. And read this one more time. Although the majority of the world has entered a state of contraction, small percentages of people and companies are still capitalizing by expanding. These people understand that these times of tightening are unique opportunities to take from those who are taking a defensive defensive posture by reducing spending. Let me read that again. My apologies. And although the majority of the world has entered a state of contraction, small percentages of people and companies are still capitalizing by expanding. These people understand that these times of tightening are unique opportunities to take from those who are taking a defensive posture by reducing spending. These people understand that these times of tightening are unique opportunities to take from those who are taking a defensive posture by reducing spending. Think about that for a minute. Who has seized the opportunity to take from those who are taking a defensive posture by reducing spending? In other words, people are capitalizing on people who've decided to save, not spend. People are capitalizing on people who decided to take a defensive position and, oh, I'm not going to do that. They're taking advantage of that. They're taking advantage of people who have pulled back and go, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm going to take a defensive posture and reduce my spending. I'm going to take a defensive posture by reducing spending. People are capitalizing on that. Taking a defensive posture by reducing spending became an opportunity for somebody else to take advantage of. Really? Pretty awesome when you think about it. Anyway, it goes deep in my mind. That's pretty deep. Somebody taking a defensive posture by reducing spending became an opportunity for somebody else to take advantage of. That's deep. Think about it. If you've ever read the book Freakonomics, that makes perfect sense. If you've ever read the book Freakonomics, that right there just makes you go, whoa. That's some deep economic psychology right there. That taking advantage of somebody who's taking a defensive posture by reducing spending. That's Freakonomics 101 right there. I'm just saying. We can go for hours on that particular topic right there. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up with this. News of contraction should serve as an indicator for you to do the contrary. You never want to blindly follow the masses. What did I say in the beginning? Watch out for the mass psychosis of pop culture. Watch out for the mass psychosis of mainstream media. Be aware and beware of the mass psychosis that people have been hypnotized into by mainstream media. Be aware and beware of the mass psychosis that has inflicted pop culture. You never want to blindly follow the masses. They are almost always wrong. You never want to blindly follow the masses. They are almost always wrong. Instead of following the pack, lead them. The way out is to expand, push, and take action, regardless of what others are saying and doing. This was written back in 2011, people. I'm just saying, if there's ever more of a time to push back, expand, and take action, regardless of what others are saying and doing, it's right now. Do it. 10x.